बोलिए सतगुरु महाराज जी की जय, सच्चे दरबार की जय. Today, once again, we present weekly Satsang from Akhand Gyan, the monthly magazine of Divyajyoti Jagrati Sansthan, inspired by His Holiness Sri Ashutosh Maharaj ji. This article is taken from September 2011 Akhand Gyan. The topic is Words Do Not Suffice. It was a small town. Once, a true seeker of God visited several people in that town who used to call themselves spiritual masters. All of them rendered great commentaries and discourses on the subject of God. Ornamental words, expressive oratory styles, and impressive philosophies, these were their tools to influence people. The inquisitive seeker met them, talked to them, discussed about their philosophies and ideologies, but his quest was not answered because he was looking for something above words, theories, and philosophies. Soon that man was found spreading the word around the town that all these so-called gurus are ignorant, irresolute, and confused. They are not worthy to be entitled as spiritual masters. When this news reached those so-called masters to whom that person had approached earlier for seeking initiation, they became furious. After all, for them, the primary worry factor was their prestige and image in the eyes of their devotees. So, all of them decided to unite and collectively move to the court to raise a voice against the man for their contempt. The day of hearing in the court arrived. The seeker as well as those gurus reached the court on time. Out of curiosity, almost the entire town had assembled in the court to witness the proceedings. The seeker was made to stand in the dock. The gurus, 7 in number, stood together on the opposite side facing the man. People were whispering, "Let's see who wins." Poor man. Although his arguments sound logical, but how will he prove these powerful people wrong? Will these gurus be able to defend themselves? Anyways, why speculate? Let's see what goes on. The murmurs grew louder with every second. The judge tapped his table. "Order, order," he said to the man in the dock. "You may speak first to prove yourself innocent. The blame on you is that you are maligning the image of these people all round the town by calling them ignorant, irresolute, and confused. Can you justify what you are proclaiming against these people who are otherwise considered by many in the town as enlightened scholars?" There was no sign of fear and worry on the face of the inquisitive. He was absolutely confident. He said in a bold but respectable tone, "My lord, I would like to prove my point. But for that, I need 7 sheets of paper and equal number of pens." His request was granted, and the required number of papers and pens were brought. The man said, "I request you, Mr. Lawyer, to kindly distribute the sheets and pens to these 7 people." The lawyer gave 1 sheet and pen to each of the 7 gurus standing on the other side. The man said to the judge, "Sir, can you now please ask these 7 people to write an answer to 1 question on the sheets in their hands? But they should write the answers independently without discussing with each other." When the judge gave his consent, the man announced his question. His question was, "What is bread?" What sort of question is this? What is he trying to prove? Does he seem to be wise? Once again, such murmurs and whispers were triggered among the audience. The 7 gurus also looked at each other with questioning eyes, but then quietly wrote their answers. On the man's request, the judge asked the gurus to read their answers aloud. The first one read his definition. "Bread is a food." On hearing that, the second guru prompted, "Hey, what sort of definition is this?" Instead, being a guru, you should say, "It is a gift of God." However, this definition could not satisfy the third one, who interfered and said, "What are you people saying? Can't you define bread properly? My definition covers the essence. Bread is simply a source of energy." Now it was the turn of the fourth guru. His face expressions too spoke of his dissatisfaction for the definition given so far. He said, "Why are you people unnecessarily trusting a simple definition? Say straight that it is baked dove." The fifth one added his remark. He said, "It would be better if we say it a little expressively, like it is a product of flour and water." The sixth one sounded more philosophical in saying that it is the means to sustain. The last one was left. He too didn't miss the opportunity. Pushing aside all the views, he said, "No one really knows what bread is." In the end, with everyone trying to jump in and prove himself to be superior, the situation turned chaotic. There was discord among all the 7 gurus when the session of the arguments and counter-arguments didn't stop. The judge had to forcefully intervene with his loud tapping once again. Everyone became silent. Now they all turned towards the man and waited for him to speak. The man then said, "Sir, with these answers, my point is well justified. You see, to my simple question, all these 7 persons gave 7 different answers. There was no harmony among their thoughts, which was why they were arguing with one another. This is the situation when they all are very well familiar with the bread. They eat it daily. Yet, there wasn't a common view about it. The definitions could highlight only a handful of attributes of the bread and fail to give a wholesome picture. Now, just ponder, if such is the case with the simple subject of bread, where they could not reach at one voice and ultimately landed up in a discord, then what about the vast subject of God? They proclaimed themselves to be scholars of spirituality, the commentators on the subject of Almighty, whom they themselves have not seen. Whatever they are preaching, it is the outcome of their intellect and mind, based on their beliefs and education. And so, they themselves, being trapped in the mesh of words and theories, try to confuse the gullible masses. Their different theories, different ideologies, and self-made styles of worshipping God have divided that one God into different beliefs in the minds of a common man. The result we see in the form of clashes over the name of religion and God. Me, Lord, I only want to say that they should themselves first experience God through Brahma Gyan and be united on His concept. Only then they will be fit to be entitled as true gurus. Then they will not gain knowledge about some or many attributes of God. Rather, they will experience Him in toto, in His fullest glory. And only then they will be able to wipe off ignorance from the minds of other people too. To read more such articles, please subscribe to our monthly magazine Akhand Gyan, available in 3 languages, Hindi, English and Punjabi. You can subscribe to the magazine by clicking on the link below given in the description. Boliye Satguru Maharaj Ji ki Jai, Shri Ashutosh Maharaj Ji ki Jai.